Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the beginning of this is the star that we continue from our other discussion. I wanted to finish this before we ran out of time, but didn't have enough time. Okay, here's the truth. Star collapsed, billions of particles were compressed. How can that many particles that are compressed possibly explode into billions and billions and billions, higher than billions anyway, extremely large amounts of stuff that we have, like for instance the Earth. The star was big, but it couldn't fit all that stuff. You know, it wouldn't have the space to compress all of it.
Oh, you
So-
got me started.
And I've got him started on another discussion because I was wanting to do this last time. Okay, he needs to finish this discussion about Christians and scientists and how he wants to hit them in the nuts both.
this
You
is
each get
fun.
both your share. One on the left, one on the right.
This is fun. Okay. Okay. I'm going to explain it for the scientists. I'm going to make them sound smart. All right. Okay. The star was so big, it took up the whole universe, right? And then it collapsed on itself, and when it collapsed, the particles expanded outward. Okay, the particles expanded outward, and that's how the universe was born. That's how a scientist thinks about it, right? Okay. As I said, one planet. I'm not even on that right now. Anyone here remember basic biology? Matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Or being in the same place.
A star goes boom. A star, not a sun, not the world's biggest supernova ever. A star goes boom and creates something 10 billion times larger than itself with mass inside of it that wasn't there before. Not seeing the connection here. Doesn't work. God created the world in 6 days, rested on the 7th. Worked his ass off. You know.
Like us, man.
I actually lean more towards God than anything. I think there is a God. I believe in God. Congratulations, Christians. You don't have to hate me 100% now. I do believe in God. He exists. Along with several others. There is not just one God, at least in my beliefs. I am not saying this is the truth. I'm saying this is how I see things. If I'm wrong, I rot in hell anyway. You have nothing to worry about. Okay. So, if there is more than one God, I'm not saying God as in more than one God. I'm saying there is more than one different God. Like, there's God, then for all we know the Romans could have been right, and there could have been like 700 different gods. Or for all we know the Japanese people could be right, and there's the God of fortune, the God of rice, the God of crops.
Which are all practically the same anyway.
Okay. Anyway, I believe there was more than one God. In fact, if I had
the world, remember that?
the end of the world,
A while back, I read up on the Bible from curiosity and read up on Armageddon, and there were like 7 or 8 different like creatures. He didn't have a rough discuss. He had a really extremely rough discussion about what they look like. Anyway, since he had never seen them, he described them in the ways that he saw, which aliens, other aliens. Anyway, and in the middle was God, and you know, all that. If you read it, you'll find out about locusts or things like that coming from the ground and killing humans, and every culture has its own priest that, you know, continues on and is holy out of everyone, which is apparently the most holiest. Anyway, to continue on his discussion.
I have no clue what that had to do with what I had to say, but okay.
Your friend is right.
Thought process. I have to hitchhike a train. Hang on.
Remember multiple gods.
Yeah. Alright. If I had to choose a religion, I would choose Shinto. It's a Japanese religion. You don't worship God. By the way, that's another thing. If I, which I do, you know, I praise God, because if He did create the earth, then by God, He is the greatest God ever. He created Earth. So, He says he's a very jealous God. He says don't worship anyone before him. So he's number one on my list. I just have a lot of other number 2s through 10s.
The only ones we know of him are the ones after him.
It's like he's tops on my list, so I'm not sinning. So nah.
The funny thing is, don't worship any gods before him. Yet the only gods that we have were created after him by us, or by Lucifer, the angel that became the devil, which was also after God. Congratulations. That was a weird and stupid statement by him. The Bible, anyway.
The meaning of that statement was do not worship anything before him. Not saying do not worship anything in the timeline before me. Do not worship anything before you worship me first. Anyway. Cough, cough. Stop interrupting my thought process or I'm going to drive it into your skull. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. For all we know, the Romans should have been right. Shinto. Anyway, I believe in God. God's tops on my list. Then I got Shinto. You got Inari, god of foxes, rice, and fortune. But basically Shinto is just thanking the earth for letting us live here, which I think is a lot better than thanking God. Well, not thanking God for creating it, but it's like it's a lot better than tearing it to shreds and blowing it up. So I would go with Shinto as my religion. Anyway, on to the discussion that I meant to talk about. If God created the earth and we're all his children, why did... that was wrong. That was wrong. Why did he kill us, slaughter us, drown us? Oh yeah, why did he give us free will and then command us not to use it? Hi, Dad. How are you? Good?
Have a nice hypocrite.
Yeah. I'm a teenager now. I'm going to rebel. Anyway, yeah, he gave us free will. It was like, you can choose to do whatever you wish to do. But, just to let you know, if you want to be happy for eternity and not rot in hell, because I want you to be scared shitless and pee your pants at night, here are 10 rules which you must follow under all things, which completely makes it to where your free will is completely pointless.
Dr. Evil.
By the way, if you wet the bed, I'm going to spank your ass so hard that you will never be able to sit down again for another month. But no, gives us free will, and then takes it away like 10 seconds after we learn to use it. Alright? He puts a fucking apple in an orchard, okay? He has an entire garden of food we can eat, and puts an apple there that we can't touch.
What are we going to do, of course, since we're defiant?
He gives us free will, takes it away from us, tells us not to do this, and then puts an apple there. What, if you're God, why did you put the apple there? Why did you put the apple right there for us to eat it? Why? You're God. You could have snapped your fingers and the apple never existed. We could have had a perfect life for all eternity on earth, died, and then had a perfect life for the rest of eternity in heaven. All of us, without hell, without any of this other bullshit, without the fear of burning and dying because we did something wrong.
That is an honor.
Thank you, Dad, for the apple. That was cool. The flood. That was cool too. My dad used to put, swim buddies on my shoulders and toss me into the lake. You forgot one part. Those weren't there. Let's see. Locusts. You want us to have an innate fear of bugs. Congratulations, the entire female race earned it.
And rats.
Oh yeah, rats too. By the way, whatever happened to the Black Plague? It was there for like, what? 10 years, and then just disappeared? We never created a cure for it. It just went poof. What the fuck happened to that? Anyway, I'm done. I'm gone. It's late. I've said everything I want to on religion and science, and then went into something random. For now, I might be back if, I don't get flamed all to hell.